It's Wednesday, April the 13th, King of the Mountain State Show, presented by the Dutch Miller Auto Group. I'm Chase Hill. I'm here today with Jessica Emerick. She's going to be fighting this Saturday down in Madison, West Virginia. She brings a little experience to the table. Her fight's a big one. She's squaring off with Amy Elkins, who's making her boxing debut. Jessica, thanks for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
So tell us a little bit about your background, where you're from, where you're living at, and how you got into this fight game.
I am from Ohio, specifically Nashport. I train up in Newark. Um, that's where it all happens in Newark.
VO2, that's your place with Joey Studer, right?
Yep. VO2 Fitness and Delta Grappling Academy. They're same building. Up there with Joe Studer and Justin Navarra, and we have a whole coaching crew. But
yeah, and I think the world of Teddy Bear. Justin Navarra, he used to box for me, but I know he's a big vault of knowledge as far as boxing and stuff. So he's a good one to have there. When was the moment for you? Like, at what point in your life did you start to train and start to kind of gravitate toward the fight game?
Late 20s. I think I was 28 when I started. I got bored of lifting weights and working out, and I was on a mission to lose weight. I've lost roughly 75 pounds now. So I just got bored and called him out. My ex-husband was a cage fighter, and I'm like, hey, who do I go to? Who do I talk to? I want to learn to box. So he pointed me in the direction. I got linked up with Joe.
It's serious cardio. Like, the fight game is no joke. Like, of all the different, types of workouts and CrossFit and it all has its place and it all does really well. But like, when you get in fight shape, that's like a whole nother level, from being in there.
Way different. I run nonstop. And it doesn't touch the cardio of actually getting in there and sparring and moving in the gym. It's not the same.
So you entered a tough man. You had one fight in there in the semi-pro contest. You also competed in amateur MMA. You had a couple fights with that. So you've got 3 fights under your belt, a couple wins. And now you're going up against Amy. So tell us what that first experience in the ring and how you've kind of grown since then, that you got a little bit more comfortable in there.
Yeah. Man, I trained a little while for that. I had a buddy call me up and was like, hey, let's go fight. Let's go win some money. I'm like, okay. That fight was fun. I think that was my first fight ever. I think I was at 155 for that fight. And that was just so much fun. I can't even describe it. I'm such a goal oriented. I was just like, I'm going to win.
Right. And you did. So that's good. Now, this fight coming up, you took it on short notice. You kind of found out yesterday that this was an option for you after, the other girl had hurt her foot and she decided that she wouldn't be able to compete. And you jumped in there, but it's a short notice to get this exact opponent and this venue. But like, you were training already, you were supposed to have a fight last weekend and that fell through. So it's good for you and Amy both, because you both kind of were training, putting in all the work. Your fights fell apart. Now here you go. You both get a chance to fight. So tell me, you're in fight shape, ready to go, even though it's short notice, right?
Yeah. Ready. I am ready. I'm excited. This must have been meant to be. This is working out.
And like I said, it was a big fight to start with, and now it got really big. This is a really big fight now. It's at the end of our card. I've got an amateur main event and a pro fight. That's the only thing behind it. You guys will have a long wait, and that's what happens.
I looked at the card and I'm like, oh, okay, so we're near the end, but this is a stacked card.
It is.
Yeah, so I don't know who's fallen through or not yet, but from what I read, there were like 3 or 4 after us. So that's cool that we're being bumped up.
Yeah, as of right now, we're looking at 18 fights. A couple of them are pro. We're still trying to put Danny together there with a pro. But yeah, we're going to have a pretty lengthy card. It'll move quick, so it's not going to take all night. But there's a lot of fights, definitely worth price of admission. Tell me this, you coming down to Boone County, you've been at some of our events, you've worked corners and stuff there. It's a usually good environment. You've been down at other promotions in West Virginia. What do you think about coming from Ohio and fighting in West Virginia? Tell me a little bit about that.
I'm excited. That's where all of my guys get to fight, and I never get to fight with them. So I'm actually on this card with two of my teammates. And that, like I said, it never gets to happen. I had three teammates on last weekend that I really wanted to fight with them. I'm like, yes, it's finally going to happen. And then that got scratched. And now I'm like, okay, at least there's still a chance.
Right.
So that, yeah, I'm excited. I really like your guys' commission and everybody down there. And I've made some friends and Justin knowing everybody. Like West Virginia's kind of coming along a little home away from home spot.
Yeah. Teddy Bear is well known more in West Virginia than he is in Ohio. You know,
He is.
I mean, there's a lot of people watched him for over a decade now, be a part of the fight game down there. So people know who he is.
Yeah.
But yeah, and he's had some good fights, good stories. They grew with Matt Adams when he came out of Ohio, and now he's kind of growing into a West Virginia fan base. So I look for
Yeah.
you to do that the same.
Yeah.
We're glad to have you. It's awesome. It's this Saturday. It's just a few days away.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a really great event. It's going to be Amy's first chance to show what she can do. She hasn't been in the ring yet, but she's put in the work in the gym and sparred and got ready. So it's
Yep.
going to be a great fight.
Yeah.
We're glad to have you. I know behind every
Thank you.
fighter, you got some people there that's helped you get to this point. Give me some shout outs before we go.
Oh man, I've got Joe Studer, Justin Navarra, Kevin Rittenhouse, Robert Presley. Oh man, I know I'm missing people. I've got so many. I have a gym full, all of my teammates, everybody. There's so many.
And the two guys that's fighting with you out of your gym is the Geo Murphy. He's fighting Daniel Merriman, and then James Dodd, correct?
Yeah, yeah,
Yes. The Dodd Rubel matchup's a good one. We got a chance to look at Dodd last year, and he was successful, but this is my first chance looking at Murphy. So pretty excited to have you guys all there. When Teddy Bear signs guys up for it, they all show up. So
yes. He's a hell of a coach.
all right, it's this Saturday, Madison, West Virginia. Tickets are on sale now. There's links all over their Facebook page and stuff like that. If you're wanting reserved seats, go ahead and get them. That way you don't have to fight to get in there. You also get to skip the lines. Jessica, thank you so much for jumping in here. It says a lot about your character to get in short notice and go to war like this. It's going to be awesome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right, thanks for sitting down and talking with me today. I'll see you here in just a few days.
Okay, see you then.